shaking his head right now.
Yeah, I mean, I see what Bane's trying to do there. You're always going to be a little bit incentivized to try and bring something back for your team. Even on an eco round, you know, you're not got too much to lose if you're already picking up towards your ults, and you'll take an ult point if you do lose your life.
Quick bits of micro movements as well, and that is going to be DRX finding that timing against a Mind Freak, but now into it. Off in the hand of Hyunmin, blocks out Garage. The spike's been dropped. Forsaken, though, still looking to get aggressive.
Oh,
straight into it. He finds a triple, tries to go for the next spray, but gunned down by Bane. The salvos go out, and Divide will turn this into a one-on-one. Look for the tap. Flashback gets it instead.
That was nearly so close for Paper X. I think a lot of people would have been yelling, screaming at their monitors. Paper X nearly make that work, and for DRX, Hyunmin starting to get what he needs to, but I gotta say, Forsaken, he is in the server today. He's got to be happy with that little performance, and individually as well. Divide, right? For a Taeho in that situation, trying to do what this round was played.
You gotta imagine you have to work off of some kind of info, and that's what that drone is looking to do. Spotted out a little bit, Rolling Thunder immediately out, still holding on to the Armageddon. But here it comes, a bit of a clone sent through. Armageddon to clear out short. Forsaken starts his assault out from heaven. 3 kills down, and down with the salvos as well. Divide picks up the last one. Paper Rex find their way back in.
Like you're throwing the whole kitchen sink in towards that round. It's very cohesive. What positions of utility they need to throw in out. Even the Aftershock in Hell, you know, it does some work to try and dislodge Flashback. So I really do like how that retake was formulated for Paper X.
And that's a great round for them. A sigh of relief, if any. Playing for that information game. DRX have been slipping under their noses every single round. You know, whether it's back onto the other end of the sites. This time, though, Forsaken will be able to sneak up onto Nest and get one for free.
Yeah, freeing down. That's a lot of your scaling utility to sniff out what's around the site down as well. Now you'll just play by the numbers. Doubling up in towards the elbow. When you've got a little bit of lesser equipped players, you know, something only down onto the Sheriff, you need to see a little bit of corners be cut, but you're not really seeing too much from Paper X. An opening kill, and then everyone's just covering a base.
Setup. Just trying to mark for it as well. Off angles all being held. Swaps up over onto the top of pipes. That's Mako down. The next player as well. Forsaken just throwing off crosshair placements with a refract. And Bane trying to stay alive. Spots out Forsaken, but the salvos continue to bomb away at his position. Forsaken in with a quad.
Multi-frags too. They didn't overcook things in that round as Paper X. Pretty followable. Sending in Forsaken to find the opening kill, resetting yourselves as a team. If DRX, you know, rotate over towards the B site, you've still got players there because you haven't bit the bullet and rotated early enough as well. Really good resilience to come through for Paper X here.
That's exactly what they've needed so far. DRX have all of these positions locked down, especially up by upper, especially up by kitchen now. Forsaken looking to push on through. Time is of the essence, but at the same time, DRX, they might not have best guns, but they're still holding a lot of these positions. Paper X, Forsaken trying to break on through. There's the ult, finally gets popped. 10 seconds remaining though. Where is the spike? Forsaken now gets it into safety. Finally getting the bomb now down, delivered through. Bane though,
I know he's stuck.
Quick and through. And he's found Mind Freak. Mako trying to work along the position, plays around the safe angle, quick strays back and forth, but Forsaken, he actually finds it. Down to just Bane. But where could he be? Oh! A little bit wider than before! And Forsaken finds the headshot, a quad kill in the round, as well as a clutch brought to you by the bull with the horns.
Red Bull clutch to come out from Forsaken. I mean, what? He got 2 kills earlier on in the map with 5 HP. This time it's 6, but it's the clutch to come from him at the end there. I was thinking to myself in this scenario, it's a 2 versus 2, right? You can't really get a good crossfire at the moment there for DRX when you're going for that one. And then, I mean, you make it laneable items to get in towards the site or to hold off a potential retake. But it really does begin at the very beginning of a round as well. These early controls that we're starting to see attempted over at Rubble.
Open.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you want to, you know, you've got a Viper Spit over at the C site, you're having a couple of bodies behind it, because you do have to remember the composition that Gen G are playing. They've actually got a lot of drone ability that can kind of, you know, sniff out what's happening in the pit, right? If Ash's Prowlers are thrown on in, or if you want to get just the boot and apply them here.
We'll see if that does pay off for them, but right now, just a full collision outside of bench and Arcade. Jing will be able to find one off of the little exchange, though. Just a full dump of utility, and right now, a bit of an aftershock to allow for Ash to go for a peek, but Forsaken will still be able to rear his crosshairs around. Munchkin, however, will be able to push up as well until he gets taken out. All that said and done, Suggest was able to look deeply into the seaside and past defender spawn.
Yeah, but is it going to work for anything? That's the problem right now. You get an idea from Mindfreak that eventually the lurk is going to be there, and 1 versus 3, I mean, both of these guys are low. But if you're just playing to the numbers, you're doubling up and maybe not, like, gonna get clattered.
Hopefully.
Hopefully not.
High-low. Oh, God, they got away just in the blink of an eye to set up for the fault line. So just stays tucked away. You know, PaperX, they still have the spike.
Yep. Reposition again, go for another high-low.
Again, a high-low, and there it is. Forsaken to pick up the pistol round for PaperX.
It is, you know, down to this comfortability factor, right? When I'm thinking of this roster, Forsaken, you know, on the duelist again, okay, that makes sense. But for something as well, right? How is his breach looking like? Because that's seemingly becoming one of the more common picks for him. And I mean, I think his caliber of play, he's going to make any
I see them be consistent. If Famous is getting out an operator on this defensive side later on, that's something that you're going to have to try and piece together as PaperX to shut that one down. This time, though, up very quietly towards B long. And now they explode.
Stars might reveal their intention, so maybe Famous quite aware, but still getting taken out quickly by the sharpshooting from the PaperX members. Now down to the last 3 from Boom. Prowlers revealing their location. Forsaken with the ghost, of course. He hears everything, and he will collect everything as well. Doesn't fall. Picks up the quad, and that's a lot of money going to the next round.
To potentially even pick up a bonus round, right? Having the run it back for Jing, getting close towards Forsaken on the Steel Garden as well. I mean, you're certainly seeing the right players go for the right hunt, the right pathing as well. The flawless round to come out on the second, so now I'll shift my eyes over.
Oh my God, and PaperX decide to push without stopping a single beat. The salvos will slow them down, but Jing happy to fire back, Defy with the support as well, but what is the spray transfer from Shiro? A bit of presence found by Forsaken, but now smoked off around stairs. He continues to creep through though. Position not quite found, Shiro lets him slip. And DOS9 will pay the price. Forsaken collects with the triple, finds a round for PaperX to keep them in the game.
The fact that Forsaken's able to at least bring that down into an advantageous position as well, right? There's a couple of these duels that go a little bit haywire. PaperX, how blinded were they in main when they first tried to take all of those duels, right?
Yeah, I feel like Haywire is putting it kindly at this point. This is a really dicey round. This could be it. Boom. Very much comfortable in their sights. A little bit of a flash up though, and Forsaken tries to answer back.
Yeah.
Sprays through the smokes and does find a double. A bit of an opportunity for PaperX to answer back.
You got to remember, bullets through smokes can be traced. 2-player advantage for PaperX at the moment, and you know, Quack, the Boomer, gonna give this one a crack.
Happy to, but Patman, recognizing that as well, holds the position. Famous in with the Outlaw now, spots out Forsaken. DOS9 taking that opportunity to peek out. Famous now finding the trade, and both Neons kick things into high gear. Forsaken off towards the other line, expects and anticipates the slide out. Jing to support.
PaperX at the moment on this attacking side, because it looks like that Boom is quite happy, you know, to try and find these isolated players. A little bit unfortunate at the beginning of this round that Berserks was caught off guard in the tower. You know, if he's able to lock down the site as the Sentinel himself, it would make it really, really awkward for PaperX. There was going to be, you know, the special delivery or the drone to go in a little bit earlier in to start to clear towards the site. That would have found Forsaken potentially in the 2 versus 2, and maybe it looks to be a little bit differently at the end there. But Shiro not opting to do that one, unfortunately, waiting for the salvos to come on up. More importantly, PaperX, they do hold on, right? So they need to know they've got a lot of this utility that you can kind of lock them in, right? But around all of these smokes, PaperX able to just stinger them, trade them on down, getting dirty in towards it. That one's a little bit ambitious to just sacrifice your body and jump in towards the site. Thought as well, as soon as you start to hear that PaperX are waltzing in towards the side.
You also have Jing and the rest of the gang just around the cage of Yudotan. Yudotan then swings out because of the flash from Poppy, but the shot's not connecting. Defy finds it instead. Yudotan swings back out, but Patman takes the trade off towards where GE are playing then though, out around A-Link. They've got a good angle against the spike. Jing looking to stick it halfway, gets off at the right time, but still not quite able to react in kind. Forsaken for the 1-on-2.
Salvos will eventually come online for Crystal.
Oh, and he's just staying tucked away as well. They hear the footsteps, but now Crystal has to take the shot. Oh, not quite able to find it. Forsaken racking up kills up to a triple.
Angry Forsaken. He has got his runners on there, and he has hunted them down for the 1 versus 3 Red Bull clutch to come on out. I thought that Global might have been able to come away with that, but when you see some awkward shots coming out from Papi and Darion, Yudotan not able to get the immediate trade, makes it look a little bit awkward and worrisome. But, I mean, respect has been certainly commanded in this round from PaperX, hasn't it? They are not scared to just take these fights here in this one. And as I said, Salvos eventually would come online for Crystal, but Forsaken just wants to get ahead of that one. Feeling confident on the kill. It's still really learning.
Right now, at least, though, Jing, okay, getting taken out really quickly, but right there, it's going to be Forsaken, his brother, right off alongside him. With that, then a little bit more space into this A site, the smokes to block off a link.
Yeah.
Heaven, though, then is open, but Forsaken just uses that as an opportunity. Swings out 2 more kills, looks for the last, and he picks up the 4K.
I mean, you could see the idea on the back of Crystal's mind there as well, holding out the Armageddon, ready for the team to flood, but just not expecting just the absolute charge that Forsaken brings into it. He now as well will meet with 20 kills. There's 3 members of PaperX that have 20 kills on the map, and 2 of them haven't even achieved 10 yet. Sometimes it is an effort by committee, sometimes it's just a full house affair, and it looks like PaperX are getting towards the site, but they managed to hold it down quite nicely. Cheeky spam through the walls and such, just good little crossfires that they come out with. So now is the real test when the weapons are back for T1.
PaperX
For PaperX too, you think it's a pretty early contest that we're seeing between these 2 teams with a lot of backwards and forwards. And I mean, the round count kind of doesn't give you the full story on this one, does it? Because there's been a pretty lot of close rounds, close scenarios where a single engagement going the other way could have spelled a different result for the round. On this map though, Forsaken and Jing.
Salvo's about to come back online. Forsaken just got a peek.
A little bit of belter of a shot. Instead, just quick little back pedal. Hyunmin on the floor. Player advantage now here for the side of PaperX. Forsaken looking for more, and he will indeed find it. 3 kills.
PaperX to come through this relatively unscathed. Good read there by something. Yeah, Hyunmin able to find the 1. Jing trying to blast pack his way a little bit closer to Rebel, but it's caught in transition. Forsaken holding the line very, very nicely. So that Rebel fight in the long run.
At the same time, Reckoning here onto the A set to try to open things up, and here comes the swing from the flank. Mako about to be hit from that left-hand side, and nearly hits the transfer. Some damage dealt on the 2 divide. Forsaken tagged up. Planted play now a 4v4 as timing send here on this lockdown. Gunman pinged out. Patman chasing forward, finds that elimination, but now needs to try to just go ahead, tuck out into the corner. So lockdown gets ready to trigger, and it's going to be the pit invested actually. Gives himself over to the detain.
Go ahead.
Turret keeps him protected from behind here for the moment. Bane on the hunt, trying to flush out Forsaken. At the same time, the Armageddon goes in, and Forsaken guns down 3, swing out, cannot find it. A 4K as we are tied up 3-3. What a round from Forsaken.
Goodness gracious. Forsaken looks like he's done. They know he's there. They're busy cleaning up stuff on site. They're somewhat ready for him. Forsaken's just having none of it. Love this play by Patman, by the way. Eat the lockdown.
1 enemy remaining.
Potentially, but have the Viper's pit there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, well, tied with something, but top KD. God. It's disgusting. Patman, under tube. Ooh, hits a couple nasty ones.
1 enemy remaining.
Forsaken, nicely done.
But taking a look at the positions as well, you got tower control as well as tree. A little trade over with Patman, kind of losing his life, but not too much loss. They have a really good idea of where RRQ are, and they're keeping them suppressed thanks to these smokes from Ilya, from something.
Yep. Big jet players going onto the Brimstones as well. When you pull out your iPad, you drop your smokes, then you can just hopefully have some yeehaw action, get your shots out. Meanwhile though, PaperX already spotting out kind of what they need in this game here. Quack
Yeah, full info. Just trying to make it as clean as possible. Not losing this Guardian at all. Not missing a single beat. First round started with an ace. The second round ends with a quad from Forsaken.
Yeah, everybody kind of, you know, we want to see them all firing on all cylinders, right? We want to make sure that there's no slacking. We want to make sure that everyone's shots are ready to connect. So it is good to see already for the train side of things, right? On PaperX that they've got a couple of their key members out the gates already, but this is the time where we'll flip it on over towards RRQ. This next round, maybe not going to be used, however, though. Keep that for when they might need a bit of an investment or so. But the way things are going at the moment for PaperX quite swimmingly, right? 4 rounds in a row, very stark.
Does need to find a little bit more, an extra kill or two before the retake begins. Jing, that's why he's holding up into this position. The paint shells as well, just to buy a bit more time and space. RQ, though, will be having to push out. Flushed out of position, that said, and it's going to hurt them somewhat. The firefight going through, Monyet finding a frag with the op, but at this range, it just does not favor him. Forsaken slithers through.
Another 4K for him on for the ace at the moment, but I don't think Jemkin wants to give him an opportunity for this one here. It's just confidence at the moment for Forsaken, isn't it?
And he's just feeling it all the way through.
Oh, the stun faded.
Ever since round 2. He was looking for it at the end, but, you know, Jemkin's still able to hold his ground.
Yeah, he should be surviving for the tail end of this round as well. That is a really great information play to come out from PaperX. We already highlighted the utility early on in the round that they get through, and then taking the further space in towards main as well. If they played patient, if they played on the side itself and gave RRQ an opportunity to go in for a proper retake, might have been a little bit different when you consider the orbital strike is in play too, so they had to get a little bit hungry to go.
Rolling Thunder ripped off orbital strike as well, and that burns against Padman. Angle still being held though. Fast lane's up. It kind of keeps him out of dodge for it now until the kills continue to domino through. Forsaken once again, the triple in the round.
Things get a little bit spicy at the end there as well for PaperX. 20 seconds to go. The spike plant is denied. You get a little bit worried that RRQ might be able to steal a round away, but they do weather it in the end. Overlooking an angle, some crossfire sprays coming on out from the bottom of drop from Forsaken. Again, another multi-frag round. Yeah, the investment of the overdrive at the end, but you just want to make sure that you are getting the rounds. You'll probably have that again in a couple of rounds. Smoke, not expecting Divide to be here. You allow for the flank to come out. I'm seeing Crazy Guy toy with the idea of getting his salvos, you know, shot probably towards main on the spot from Jemkin, but just caught in transition, switching between the utility and the weapon. See if we can win some 2-on-1s, maybe get towards the site.
Oh my god. I was going to say, Sky's going to do a decent job, but this time it's Forsaken doing well as well.
Cheeky angles. There's
second kill, and just like what we saw in Fracture, RQ kind of lost the plot.
That's just the bonus round. These happen. You lose the first duel. You run into an angle. You just can't win the duel. 10 players. Very, very sharp in this little game we call Valorant. But right now, the spike is in firm control of PaperX. It's the controllers of RRQ to see what damage they can get back in return here.
I guess 2v5 going in for the dry-peaked duels inside of Garage, and PaperX just does not let them find any breathing room whatsoever.
Yep, flawless round to come through from PaperX in that one. This is the big old battle, though, that we do wait for, right? RRQ to get the guns back in possession, getting closer to a couple of these ultimate orbs. It does feel like at the moment, you know, it's going to be opening duels that are extremely important when you consider the, what, 14-1 in the previous map. So it feels like little by little RRQ need to just get one foot in front of the other, right? Find an opening duel.
Around elbow, Jemkin still in position, cushy up from the backside, but suddenly silenced. Forsaken and Padman marking these angles. Monyet, though, surely you don't expect another. Tries to blast back them away, but doesn't quite work out. Off to the judge, out from ropes, and you have some slight resets.
Seekers from Padman off the plant. Gonna choose to invest them here.
That gives some further information. You know that one is up by ramp. Where could the other be? It's a little bit obvious as well. But with the smokes coming up, another duel being isolated, and Forsaken! He'll just spin back around on a dime to find an every kill.
Backwards and forwards in the rounds at the moment. No one able to find some footing for consecutive rounds, but maybe we'll change things up here. Unless we get another Thrifty coming on through. Because there's going to be some light investments from RRQ.
around the elbow there as well. A lot of bullying with the utility to try and stay alive, to try and foster an advantage. Just doesn't work out for Mon yet, and no trade ability either to come through from the controllers of RRQ at the end there. A little bit disconnected.
Salvos that forces Paper X out of position around the outskirts of this smoke though, and it's Forsaken evening up the score. He finds a couple more flicks, and Device on top as well. Cushy finding the trades, but he's down to 30 HP. It's just something. And he's trying to play for time. Of course, it's a shorty as well. Look at the B-hop, look at the movement, the airstrafes, down to Cushy's doom.
He recognizes that he has time on his side. Great mollies to come out from Forsaken. Great gravity well as well to remove Crazy Guy off a potential defuse. And then you've got the right weapon at the right time, but you're just trying to make sure that he's not trying to sweep the rug out from under you. That was a could have been a problematic one for Paper X, given the fact that they did lose it earlier on, right? They lost the first Jules. They do manage to get the plant, but they bring a little bit of stability to them. And they steal that 4 versus 5 in the post-plant scenario. That might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for RRQ for the meantime. They need a
corner for surveying with the drone. Salvos though, and allows for RRQ to begin their forward march. The screen up, and it lets Forsaken sneak up behind. He's infiltrated their backs. Jing pushing up as well. Nanoswarm with a flick onto Jimkin. It's just Xfero who unfortunately will collapse. The 4th map, and it ends with a 13-3 scoreline. Ladies and gents, we have got a truly